The rain had been falling since morning, turning the narrow backstreets of Manila into winding streams of dirty water. Vendors huddled under mismatched tarps, the smell of fried fish and wet earth mixing in the air. Lola Maria, 68, small and frail, stood under a bent green umbrella that had seen better days. She wore a thin floral dress clinging to her from the damp, her slippers splashing in puddles as she polished each mango with an old rag. The fruit gleamed gold even under the gray sky, her pride, her lifeline. She had sold her last heirloom brooch to buy them, hoping that by the end of the week she could pay part of her rent and still have enough for rice and heart medicine. She kept glancing up the street, praying she wouldn't see him. Vicente Cruz, the landlord. A thick-shouldered man in his 40s, always in sleek black coats, reeking of expensive cologne and arrogance. He owned most of these stalls and half the nearby apartments. Everyone knew his rules. Rent on time, or humiliation in public. The rain didn't keep him away today. Through the misty curtain of falling water, she saw him approaching, black umbrella in hand, two large men following close behind. Other vendors lowered their eyes and pretended to busy themselves. The sound of his polished shoes splashing in puddles was enough to make stomachs tighten. Vicente stopped in front of Lola's cart, scanning her mangoes like a wolf sizing up prey. 3 days late, Lola. I thought maybe you'd skip town. She swallowed, her voice steady but quiet. The rains, sales have been slow, Senor Cruz. I just need 2 more days. He tilted his head, pretending to think. 2 days. And what if it rains for 2 more weeks? I'll find a way. Please, I've been here for 20 years. He stepped closer, his shadow covering her. The street doesn't care how long you've been here. And neither do I. Before she could speak again, his hands gripped the edge of her cart. No, wait, she cried. With a violent shove, Vicente tipped it over. The wooden frame cracked, and the mangoes tumbled into the gutter, rolling in brown water, splashing mud across her dress. Some were crushed instantly under his expensive shoes. Lola dropped to her knees, her hands shaking as she tried to grab them, the cold rain running down her face like tears. Vicente looked down at her, smiling with satisfaction. Maybe next time you'll remember who owns this street. He turned to leave. From across the road, inside a dim café, Jason Statham had been sitting alone, sipping black coffee in silence. His worn leather jacket hung open, revealing a plain gray shirt beneath. He had been trying to stay out of trouble in Manila, but trouble had a way of finding him, and injustice had a way of dragging him right into it. He saw the mangoes in the mud. He saw Lola's trembling hands. And he saw the smirk on Vicente's face. That was enough. Jason stood, the wooden chair scraping the floor. He stepped out into the rain, his boots splashing as he crossed the street. Vicente's 2 men noticed him first. What's your problem, foreigner? One growled. Jason didn't even look at them. His eyes were locked on Vicente. His voice was calm, but carried the weight of a storm. You're gonna pick that up. Vicente turned fully, sizing him up. You don't know who you're talking to. Jason stepped closer, the rain dripping from his jacket. I know exactly who I'm talking to, someone about to regret his choices. One of the bodyguards moved in, throwing a punch. Jason sidestepped, grabbed his wrist mid-air, and twisted sharply, bones cracked, and the man dropped with a scream. The second guard lunged, but Jason's knee shot up into his stomach, folding him over before a sharp elbow strike sent him face first into a puddle. Vicente's smirk vanished. He pulled a folding knife from his coat pocket. Last chance, stranger, walk away. Jason moved in a blur. His left hand seized Vicente's wrist, twisting it until the knife fell. His right elbow slammed into Vicente's ribs, forcing him to gasp. A swift leg sweep sent the landlord crashing into the mud. Jason crouched, gripping his collar. The rain made both their faces slick, but Jason's glare cut through it. "You're going to apologize to her," he said evenly. "And you're going to help fix what you broke." Vicente, shaking now, nodded quickly. I'm sorry, Lola." "Louder," Jason ordered. Vicente's voice rose, his tone breaking. "I'm sorry, Lola. I'll help you." Jason stood, pulling him up by the arm and shoving him toward the cart. Under Jason's watchful eye, Vicente and his remaining conscious guard gathered mangoes from the gutter, wiping the mud off before placing them back. When it was done, Jason walked to Lola and gently helped her upright. He pulled a folded wad of pesos from his jacket and placed it in her trembling hand. "For your rent. And your medicine." She tried to refuse, but Jason closed her fingers over it. "Don't argue." As Lola whispered a tearful, "Thank you, hijo," Jason gave a small nod and stepped back. Vicente, soaked and humiliated, stumbled away down the street, his power stripped bare in front of everyone. Jason turned toward the café, rain still pouring, but the market suddenly felt warmer. Lola stood behind her cart again, calling out to passers-by with renewed strength, her mangoes neatly arranged. Jason's coffee would be cold by now, but some things were worth more than a hot drink.